Hello, I am Solange Alfred. Welcome to the HTS Epoll. It's your opportunity to weigh in on the most pressing issues of the day. St. Lucia has sent a delegation to COP27, the United Nations Conference on Climate Change, being held in Egypt. The St. Lucia delegation comprises technocrats from a wide range of ministries, including finance, the environment, and planning. COP27 comes at a point in which many of the regions of the world are beginning to experience the effects of climate change. The climate conference is being criticized for the number of oil lobbyists in attendance. The Minister for Sustainable Development, Sean Edward, says accessing finance for climate change mitigation and adaptation projects will be top of the delegation's agenda. So we ask, do you expect anything significant to come out of St. Lucia's attendance at COP27? We tally the numbers on our voting platforms, and here is how you voted. 25% said yes, and 75% said no. We took to the streets to get your opinion, and here's what you had to say.
I don't think anything is going to come out of that. I believe that this is a platform that's already been set, St. Lucia. All these other little countries are minorities. They just have to follow suit. I believe that ministers and governments going out to these programs and not bringing back feedback. I believe I have a problem with ministers going out and not coming back and accounting to the state what these things are about. But I don't think anything is coming out of that.
Oui, je sais bien qu'il come out because now we go and nous la gale, il fait pour nous. So now we tout ba gale bien.
I doubt very much because small countries, St. Lucia especially, we are always the tail. We had they had a discussion 7 years ago in Paris, right? And nothing came out of that. You know, look, all by now we are suffering. What happened in Castries there recently? What we are benefiting from that is just a talk all the time, and the small countries always take the blow.
All of the world's leaders getting together, and St. Lucia 7 years ago, and we have never been benefited. So I believe that now they have meetings in Egypt. I believe that they should come together and consider St. Lucia, all small islands should be benefit in that meeting. So I think that they should consider that, and I pray to the Heavenly Father that they will help us out as a small nation.
We have to look at what is the consistencies in terms of what has happened over the years. You look at the last one that we had, whether there was anything that came out of it. Was there one before? And all these talk shops, if anything positive has come out of it, then we're going to know that there is a trend that has to be followed. But as we are now, we have to be optimistic because we will want changes to be made. What we want to ensure is like persons like Gaston Brown, when he made his pronouncement, and even our own Minister Edward, we want to ensure that what they say is going to carry enough weight. But them are not the only ones, because with so many nations involved, you want to hear some of the big countries speak and take decisions that is not going to benefit them alone, but smaller countries like St. Lucia. So in the final analysis, to take a decision as to whether, or state an opinion as to whether anything will come out of that. Will is the strong word. It can come out of that, but you would need the support not only of small developing countries like ours, but some of the big nations that what we say that really run the world.
By climat, si bénéfique pour sous pas tek pas ou pas han pas tout comment so sous tek pas et puis bénéfique il bénéfique ou quoi un bénéfique sous pas tek pas well so ma fil ma côté cette lycée pour pas because no tout c'est on.
Non, il n'y a pas comme out ça. Because cette l'année passée, il était venu même balle, il a fait même balle et quand rien pièce type il va rien ça personne pas attendre rien about ça. So il pas fait pièce science pour faire because nous pas une pièce bénéfice in fact il a affecté nous. Cette lycée pas bénéfice à sa pièce. Nous loin ça, il pas regarder pour nos pièces because il va jamais regarder pour nous.
Meeting là yoni là, cette lycée qui bénéficie en dedans. Même si cette l'année passée, il était dit que il bailler avec nous pas joindre. Well, moi believe you can cette lycée pour cause pour différents bagages qui can aller en la vie pour après ça. Oui, moi believe you can bénéfice.
Before we start the conversation, I want to say global warming is a fact. It's real. But the heads of governments have been meeting over a couple of years. Like I remember one year Jimmy Fletcher went to I think it was in Paris or one of them, and he made some proposal, and up to now nothing ain't happened to what he proposed. There was no action. So I don't know if this time, like we saw what happened in Castries and Grozile a couple of days ago. So the industrial nations have to come up with a solution to the problem.
With what is going on right now, with the global changes in terms of the effects of climate change, the world is I mean, every year or every certain period, you see the increase in temperature, and this affects everybody in the world, and especially in St. Lucia, where it is considered a very small country, a developing country. I mean, it affects us even more. The other bigger countries, they contribute towards the effects of global warming, and we feel the effects worse in terms of the disaster effects. We feel it worse. Even our livelihood have been affected. Personally,
do you think St. Lucia stands to benefit from this?
St. Lucia stands, yes, should stand to benefit, and I'm hoping that they hear the pledges of our leaders from St. Lucia and also from the other parts of the Caribbean.
Thanks for those responses. Now to our new discussion. The noticeable increase in the price of goods and services is taking a toll on the budget of households, individuals, and businesses. The rise in the prices has been attributed to the increased cost of shipping, the increase in the cost of imported goods, and the rise in the price of fuel. However, some local consumers are accusing the business community, big and small, of capitalizing on the situation to unfairly inflate prices. So we ask, do you think that some retailers are abusing the situation to unjustifiably increase prices? Voting is easy. Just log on to htsstlucia.org and vote. Remember, our Epoll team is always on the go to get your responses as well. Watch the HTS News Force from 7 p.m. for the results and a new discussion.